I had a woman in my life who saw something in me long before I saw it in myself. My godmother, Elena Demurius, was a tough New York woman in the best way possible. Blunt, honest, funny, the kind of woman who would absolutely want to be described as a tough broad. And I loved that about her. When I moved to New York for college to study acting, she took me under her wing. She'd take me to dinner, to Broadway shows. Occasionally, she would buy me a drink before I was legally allowed to have them. But more than anything, she just pushed me constantly. Eventually, I stepped away from acting and started bouncing around different corporate jobs, hospitality jobs, event jobs. And every time I tell her about a new position, she'd go, yeah, but what's next? In 2019, I was producing World Pride in New York City, and because of that work, I started doing more public speaking and media appearances on behalf of the organization. At one launch event, I spoke in front of the crowd, and afterwards, my godmother comes up to me and says, "This is what you're supposed to do." I thought she meant producing events. I said, "Ooh, I'm glad you like the event." And she goes, "The event, it's okay. It's you I'm a fan of." Compliment, I guess? I genuinely thought she was just being supportive. Then later that month, we were producing the massive World Pride opening ceremony at Barclays Center. Huge show, thousands of people, Whoopi Goldberg, Cyndi Lauper, Billy Porter, all a part of it. And I had to go on stage in front of 13,000 people to welcome the audience and introduce my boss. After the show, my godmother comes backstage and says, "That was fantastic." And I go, "Oh, I'm glad you liked the show." And she goes, "Oh, no. The show was much too long. It was you. I keep telling you, it's you. This is what you're supposed to be doing." A few days later, I'm talking to my husband, tell him the story, and he says, "Maybe she means public speaking." I remember literally saying, "How is public speaking a job? Isn't it just a part of some jobs?" It took a minute for me to have that aha moment. I was shrinking my dreams to fit the life I already had. But she was looking at me from the outside and seeing something bigger for me than I could see for myself. Eventually, I told her I wanted to pursue hosting seriously, and she just looked at me and said, "I've been trying to tell you that." She's no longer with us, and I never really got the chance to say goodbye. But especially on Mother's Day, I think about how lucky I was to have her and other women like her in my life. Women who pushed me, women who saw me clearly, women who refused to let me shrink. And I really hope in all this unshrinking I'm doing now that I'm making her proud.